Hey guys, Crystal Brady here, your expert in all things real estate. In this video, I'm going to talk about common restrictions that I see regarding to pets. So almost everybody has pets these days, cats, dogs, maybe other pets, and a lot of communities that you may choose to purchase a home in have restrictions for pets, typically dogs and cats specifically. So I want to make you aware of some of the common restrictions you may encounter so that you can make sure when you're purchasing a home, it's not going to have a negative impact on your pets. So the first thing I want to address is condo and townhome. Condominium and townhome properties tend to have the most restrictions when it comes to your pets. These properties sometimes prohibit dogs altogether, so you always need to check the rules and regulations before you go under contract to make sure that your dog and your cat would be allowed. The types of restrictions that I do see if they allow pets are sometimes things like the number of pets that you have. So for instance, they might cap it at 2 dogs, and if you have 3 dogs, then that neighborhood would not be a good choice for you. They also have restrictions sometimes on weight and breed. So it's very common in a condo or townhome community that they are restricting the size of the dogs that you can have on the premises. You might see 50 pounds or under, 25 pounds or under, and things like that. Occasionally we see breed restrictions as well. So they may have certain breeds they are calling out saying are not allowed in the community at all. So those are definitely things you want to check if you are considering buying a condo or a townhome. Now, single family is a little bit different, and a lot of people think because they have a single family property that it's no big deal and they don't need to worry about it. They can just bring all their pets and it's not a big deal. But sometimes I see restrictions in these neighborhoods as well. In the actual deed restrictions, sometimes they will address animals and have a section in there talking about what is and is not allowed. Typically, they will allow dogs and cats, no problem. By the way, none of these communities allow livestock, chickens, pigs, things like that. So we're really just talking like dogs and cats and then little caged animals inside, like your bunnies and reptiles, things like that. So with single family though, I have seen restrictions, sometimes limiting the number of pets and occasionally breed as well. I don't typically see size restrictions, but for instance, I'll see neighborhoods that say no more than 5 household pets. So that could be 3 cats, 2 dogs, or any combination like that. Sometimes I even see as few as 3 household pets. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm just gonna bring my pets and hope that nobody notices, you're probably taking a big risk. There are situations in which you are purchasing a townhome or condominium, for example, where they require you to apply as an owner and get approved. And part of that approval process includes you registering your pets. They want to know how many you have, what size they are, what breed they are, and they're verifying this information sometimes. Not to mention if you're out walking your dog and you get reported by a neighbor, the HOA could come back on you later. So those are some reasons you want to probably try to check the rules and follow the rules. And if they're not going to meet your needs for your fur babies, then find a different property. So there's a couple other things in my notes I want to address. Insurance companies, that's another one. Insurance companies are now also replacing restrictions on pets when you purchase. So you might have no issue purchasing a home and bringing all your pets as far as the HOA goes, but when you go to get your homeowner's insurance policy on that home, they sometimes will say that they are not covering liability if you have dogs, or they may even say if you have these breeds of dogs, we are not providing insurance coverage. If that happens to you, don't worry. I would say keep looking for a different insurance agent or a different, not agent, but company, a different insurance carrier that will insure the pets that you do have. But just something to be mindful of and to check for when you're in the purchasing process. The last thing I wanted to address is fencing. A lot of people that are buying single family want a fenced-in yard for their dogs, very common. And if you don't find a property when you're looking that has a fence and you're about to place an offer on something with no fence, just keep in mind that you probably want to budget for the fence if you eventually want to do that project. Fencing can be pretty expensive, anywhere from a couple thousand to 5,000 or 6,000 or more if it's a very large lot, and depending on the type of fence that you put up. So just keep that in mind, maybe have at least a basic idea of how much that fence is going to cost you and do a little budgeting for that when you purchase. Those are my tips and common restrictions that I want you to be mindful of if you are purchasing with pets. Hope that was helpful. and feel free to leave me a comment and subscribe to my channel if you like my real estate videos.